Today we're taking a look at 3-on-2 offense. So we've got our 3 offensive players in blue. We've got our 2 defensive players in red. Typically the offense is going to set up in a triangle formation and the defense is going to set up in a 2-man stack. Now, a couple important rules to remember offensively in a 3-on-2 or really in any man-up situation in lacrosse is not to hold on to the ball very long. We tell our players 1, maybe 2 seconds with the ball. You're either going to catch it and move it to the next player, or you're going to catch it and shoot it if you happen to have a good shot. So don't hold on to the ball for very long. Second rule is the ball moves faster than your feet. So when we are in a man-up situation, we don't want to spend a lot of time with the ball, dodging, driving, trying to get past the defender and get to the goal. We want to let the ball and let passing do the work. Someone's always open. It's a 3-on-2, a 4-on-3, a 5-on-4. There's always an open player. We want to move the ball to that open player as quickly as possible. If they have a shot, they're going to take it. If not, they're going to move the ball to the next open player as the defense rotates as quickly as possible. So you always want to make sure that you are either catching the ball and moving it to the next player or catching the ball and shooting it. So don't hold on to the ball for very, very long. Let the ball do the work. Second real important rule of man-up offense, or really offense at all in lacrosse, is stay spread out. And I'll show you what I mean here. So here, the offense is set up in a pretty wide triangle. They're keeping it pretty spaced out. Now, what tends to happen in youth lacrosse with younger players is that triangle gets smaller. The players on the wings want to pinch in because they think that being close to the goal means it's going to be easier for them to score. And player 1 with the ball is going to come in too tight to his defender. And now you can see when that triangle collapses, defender number 2 here can pretty easily cover both of these guys just by taking a few steps side to side. So by collapsing in, we've made it so that one defender can cover 2 offensive players, which pretty much takes away the advantage of having the extra player. So we want to stay spread out. The wings of that triangle should be out pretty wide, and the player up top, if that's the ball carrier, should be staying up pretty high. So stay spread out. And there's no way that 2 players can cover 3, or 3 players can cover 4, or 4 players can cover 5, as long as you stay spread out. So we're going to say the ball is starting. Ball's starting with player number 1 right here. Now, if we move the ball quickly enough, it should only take 1 or 2 passes to score. If we move the ball a little bit more slowly, it might take a few more passes to get that shot off. But just remember, the quicker you move the ball, the faster the defense has to rotate. And when the defense has to rotate really quickly, it creates split-second openings. So we want to take advantage of those openings as the defense rotates. So you got to be looking for these little things. And I'll show you what I mean here. Let's say that offensive player number 1 carries the ball down into the 3-on-2 break. He's going to pass the ball to either blue player number 2 or blue player number 3. He can go either way with the ball. It doesn't really matter. Let's say he goes with the ball to blue player number 2. Let's look at how the defense is going to rotate. All right. Defender number 2 is going to go to the ball. Defender number 1 is going to drop into the middle and kind of try and keep an eye on both of these guys on the backside. He's going to be trying to cover 2 guys. Now let's look at that rotation again and see if you can see where the player opens up for a split second. Okay, so pass goes from player 1 to player 2. Now watch the defensive rotation. 2 is going out. 1 is dropping down. Where do you see the open passing lane as that rotation happens? Hopefully you see it across to the backside right here. Okay, so as the defense does their rotation, 2's coming over, 1's dropping down, but that leaves an open passing lane to get that ball to the backside to player number 3 for an easy goal. So we're looking for that diagonal feed. Okay, if the offense happens to rotate, or the defense happens to rotate really quickly, and that passing lane is taken away, so the pass goes from 1 to 2, 2 rotates really quickly out to the ball, 1 rotates really quickly and takes away that pass down here, it still leaves an open player. Do you see it? Yep, this guy up top, number 1. And he's open. If he stays up high and doesn't collapse down towards the goal, he's open for that time and space crank shot that we all dream about. So take a look at that one more time. Pass goes from 1 to 2. Defense rotates quickly and takes away that backside feed to player number 3. But number 1 is up top calling for the ball. Ball goes back to him. And he catches, shoots, takes that outside shot that we all dream about, and ends up scoring a goal. So keys to remember offensively in a 3-on-2 or really in most man-up situations is stay spread out. Don't collapse in tight. Keep your spacing. Move the ball quickly. Look for open passing lanes as defenders rotate. And always keep that one more pass mentality in mind, because since you have an extra player, someone's always going to be open. So that extra pass could be the guy who's open to catch and shoot and score a goal for your team.